Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Hall of Famer, this is Gale Sayers. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Well, he's going to take a shot. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Here we go. At their own 34-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Got him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's complete to John Ross. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you give up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Again, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
You got nothing. Jim, what? Go.
To throw is Jackson. To throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DeAndre Hopkins, 78 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touch.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When he'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Oh, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Let him lose it. Let him know. 36, 37.
After the interception, here's Jackson going deep for Hopkins. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now, Henry, Mike 54. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. That's it. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Jackson on 1st down. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
He don't want it. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flushed out right. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss.
Now that was something, and it wasn't good. In one play, you've gone from being in the red zone to maybe out of field goal range. Totally inexcusable.
Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for the touchdown. Randy Moss, 62 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
He's going to take off with it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown.
We're going to shut you down.
And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And he's able to put it through. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. They'll have highlights and analysis of this first. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And this will be a touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Champ Bailey. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw, and that's incomplete. Terrell Owens, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw, eluding the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former USC man, Taylor Mays.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
3 down, 3 down.
Play action. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. Going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Snatched by the safety Ed Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down. And what in the world? Now they're going to fake it. And that'll be incomplete. But remember, crazy situation here you don't see often. Not 4th down yet, so they will keep possession. Well, folks, I guess just when you think you've seen it all, you see a fake punt in that situation. A little unorthodox. But the incompletion, and now it's 2nd down. And look at this. The punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's 2nd down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
They'll take over. First down and 10.
That's what we do.
At the
Other way.
Seahawks 22-yard
Let's
line.
go.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no? I would agree. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw is Jackson. Dancing to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And oh, we've seen it all now. It's a fake. And that'll be incomplete. But remember, crazy situation here. You don't see